Hey everybody, welcome back to day number 27 of December Daily. Whew, it's a little cold here tonight, and so I just sat down in my chair and it's cold. Oh my goodness. Yay, Wisconsin. I guess, we've kind of been waiting a little bit because it's been pretty warm here. I think I've talked about that lately, and it's not tonight. So yesterday's page here, I decided to do a little bit of a quieter page with not so many photos, so I downsized the photos here and then just a few embellishments. Sorry, I was out to dinner with friends, so I've been talking a lot in the last couple of hours, and it's definitely affected my voice here. So I'm going to have to probably grab water a little bit more. There we go. Now it's back. Okay, so I'm going to be working on the back side of this. Definitely not that paper because that's kind of crazy. Maybe I will grab some of the papers from this year and see what I think, if there's maybe anything I can use. I did pull some things just because I haven't used as many of these die cuts. And I think part of it is they're a little bit bigger. So I'm going to pull those out. I'll pull the chipboard. I've used a little bit of that here. That stuff will probably come in more with my my layouts for Christmas. But let's see if there's anything in this year's kit that I might want to use that works with these. And today is all about the cozy. So this is a mug that I got at Kohl's that I've been using for the holiday season, but it can be used all winter long. And then this is one of the best purchases I've made in a long time. This is an electric throw. So when I'm sitting on my couch, that's probably there. And I will say it definitely was a big help when I was sick. So I haven't used this stripe paper, and I think that might be, oh my goodness, might be a nice thing to use. So let's think about that. And then it might be helpful if I could show you guys. And I'm thinking like cozy, warm, those kind of vibes. This would have been a good paper for yesterday, where I was talking about, I do like this one as well. Maybe not as well with that. I think the blue is throwing me off. This star paper I've not used either. The red's a little bit different than the red up here. So not sure if that would bother me. I could pull this, but that feels like it takes some of the focus off of that page just because it's a little bit busier. There's that star paper, which I did use, I think, in a full sheet. And I do kind of like that. And there's also this red stripe. Which actually, I'm not thinking there's a stripe right there. So I think no. There's that if I want a wintry feel, but I don't really like that with the blue. This is more like a film strip style paper. This is one of those that I feel like I'm going to have a hard time using. But I said that about that label paper last year, and I really ended up liking that. And maybe I'll go back and see. There's the candy cane paper, and then this kind of like Polaroid paper. and the craft paper. So those are options. Let me grab last year, and this might even have some of the other years kind of mixed in here as well. And maybe like that green could be good. I kind of like this blue, but not the two lines. This green, minty green, I think came in a pack. Let me try this. It was labels and other things. So let's see if we have any of that left. I don't. There's this, but it's a grid with the circle. Oh my gosh, you guys, I'm concentrating so hard on my paper choice that I'm not saying hello. So, hey Krista, good to see you. And Barbara says it's pretty chilly where she is. Snow flurries last night after 72-degree on Christmas. Crazy. I think I responded to you, Barbara, and sorry that the cold found you, as in sickness cold. That's kind of cute, but I'm seeing this green down here that I'm looking at. So, and hi, Tammy. So, or, okay, so there's a couple options, I think, here. There's that. So I could do that. Again, more of a blue-red with this than that mug is. I think with this paper, you don't see the difference quite as much, even though that's a little more, there's another red stripe, but we're not going to do that. This is the paper that I saw that might be kind of fun because that picks up on that mint, and I think that does a nice job of highlighting that. And in a minute, I'll tell you where that came from. I'm like, did I just mix up packs here? No, I think this is that label paper from last year that I said I'd never use, and then I did use a small piece of it. There's a gray here. Yeah, I think that's the one I'm going to use. So that's nice because I'm using, this came from last year, I think. Yes, last year, and the collection was called Twinkle. In case you have older paper, obviously if you didn't do last year's Ellie Studio kit, you're not going to find it. Okay, so let's chop up the paper. So I'm going to do that really precise technique I do. I'm actually just going to glue this down right away, I think, because it'll make my life a lot easier if I just glue it to cut it. Not that it wouldn't be hard to cut this on the paper trimmer, but if I don't have to, why? Because it just makes it even easier. Plus, I don't think the bottom of this is completely straight after just cutting this now. Okay, so there's the first one. And that's going to go on there. And again, I tend to like stuff with white backgrounds on the top because to my eye, it feels like there's less weight to them than things that are more... Now, there's obviously white stars on here, but there's much more white on there because of the background. And I like that this has some of the red in, but it's not that blue red. So I'm going to just put these two pieces of paper back just so I don't lose them or get them mixed in the wrong collection. Not that I couldn't figure it out, I keep the labels, but just in case people ask, sometimes they ask me when I got it or where it was from, that kind of a thing. So it's a little more helpful if I have that separated. After a few years, I just kind of throw like all the die cuts and labels and stuff together and call it, you know, old Ellie Studio kits or whatever it is. And actually, I don't think I got that straight. And now I might be making it worse, but might have to throw this through my trimmer. Ah, okay, that wasn't good. I just took a nick out of this. Ah. Well, the only problem is if I... Okay, I'm going to try to do something about that. But okay, I got it. It's going to be a little bit shorter, but that wasn't good. Sometimes that's what happens. Yeah. Oh, well, I'm glad I taught something good or showed you something good, Tammy. It does save a lot of time if you do it this way. In all seriousness. Okay, I'm going to make sure that these are sitting the right direction because I don't want to glue things and it not be that. Okay, so I'm thinking I might put these on like opposite sides because the direction of the photo, this is going this way, and this one, my hand is here, so that line is going this way. I do like this little warm and cozy here. This is from the Ellie Studio Words, so that might be kind of nice. I do like this Joy, and actually, that could work quite well. Like I said, I just pulled some of these. I don't know that this is particularly festive. And can I make this work? Oh, I also have this upside down. I don't think it's gonna matter. This is kind of a oddly shaped piece here. So I'm having a hard time getting this without leaving like blank white space, which I don't want to do. Okay, so maybe something like that. The one thing I feel like I'm missing down here then is some navy. I have this Mary. I think I'm going to put that back for now. So what do I have that would be blue that might help out? So that's a record, but really what I'm looking for here is more shape than anything. And then the thing I kind of like about this is if I cover that there, then I can cover this one here and we're getting the circle, but not having to worry about the garland at the top. So let's glue this down. Hey, Jennifer, good to see you. So we're gonna glue that. And then I'm just leaving, actually, let me cut this because now that I cut the top of that, it's a little bit, the photo's a little bit too long. I forgot I also grabbed out these hearts because one says love and one says nice. And that may or may not work. We'll see. So let's bring this up. Let's see, can I do it to come right under that line there? So let's get this glued down here so it doesn't shift on me. And then I'm just going to grab that warm and cozy and bring it here. This this electric throw was a lifesaver when I was sick. Okay. And then I'm going to grab this record. Again, this is really just to get the shape in here. I'm trying not to take up too much space there, although maybe I can put a label or something there that I can journal on. We'll see. I want to drop this below the line of that warm and cozy a little bit so it's very obvious that it's down below it as well. But there we go with that. I can add some hearts and maybe, you know, I haven't used my puffy hearts from this collection in a bit. So let me grab what I have from there. And I think it would be good to add those. Although let's see what it looks like if I add one of these. This is going to be a lot of white. Nice or love. I guess this one really should be love if I'm talking about this. So maybe we'll add that right there. And I think I can still get in some of my little hearts here. And these, I have some that are patterned, which I think would be nice, a nice addition to this. So I think we'll do that. And those are from last year, the patterned hearts. I'll show you those in just a second. Okay, so then I'm gonna put this one, actually I'm gonna grab some water. We were just talking tonight about how I barely coughed all night long, which was cool. So there's been lots of improvements here. Okay, so then I'm just gonna get approximately the same space, just eyeing it, eyeballing it. I'm not gonna worry if it's exact or not. I do need to just trim a little bit of this photo. And this is not, I'm gonna, this poor card was not very straight. So I'm gonna get that a little straighter. Yeah. Oh my goodness. I think I knew that last night when I cut this. Okay, a little bit can be lopped off there because I lopped some off of the one below it. And then I want to get that nice in here. And let's see, what else could we put on this? There's a little wreath. The other thing I'm thinking is that, let's see, there's stars here. There's snowflakes on this mug and red. There's an ornament here, but that doesn't feel like that makes sense to me. Like well, it does. It's not that it doesn't make sense. I don't like how that's necessarily sitting here. And it is an ornament, so I kind of like those things to be hanging. Let's see. There's a little snowman here. Let's see if we could make that work somehow. That feels a little big. Maybe there's a snowman in this sticker book that's smaller or something that I would like just a little bit more. There also is gray down here and there's no gray up there. And I need a number. I just thought about that. So maybe I could use something over here and then the number could sit next to it. Let's see. Inside of it. Let's see, there's a Santa face. Just looking to see, I don't know that there's any snowflakes in this collection. Can you imagine that, knowing how much I like snowflakes? I mean, there is, but they're on the ornaments. So let's see what else we have here. There's another record on this one. The pile of presents. This is a present to myself. There's a 'Tis the Season with a Christmas tree. Let's see what that feels like. Nope. That's not it. Let's see. So the snowman in this, oops, that is not a snowman. That's a stocking, is really the same size. So it's not any smaller. There is a TV that says Merry Christmas. I wonder where, because that would kind of go with the radio thing. There's a TV on in the background of that photo. Because I think I was having my morning coffee when I took that. Which this would be sort of appropriate. I think that's a lot of stuff. I think it's one or the other, not both. And there is a smaller puffy sticker. But then that puffy, yeah, not the right thing yet. Okay, I did see a stamp that had a snowman. Here we go. Maybe this guy? So far, I like that the best, but then I need to think about what do I do? I'm gonna just pop that there for the number. And I still want to get the nice. Now, alternately, what I could do is put the nice up here, that nice heart up here, and then obviously repeat a heart over here. So that could work. Let's look and see. So today is the 27th. No red. There's a white one, but I think there's a lot of white on there. Obviously, I have my banner. So I could put the banner up here. Maybe I could put the banner, and I have a green one. I have only used one other. Maybe this is the answer. So actually, let me grab, one of the things I like about the tweezers is that I can also sort of audition things without my hand in the way. And I can kind of see how that looks and feels to me. And then this green would make sense there too. So I actually like the way that looks. So let's get this on here. I'll pull this so I can see a little bit closer without putting my crazy hair too much in the way. Now I still could also put a heart there or something. I think we need a little more like red over here. And this needs to come up now. Okay, so Joy, let's get, I'm gonna play around a little bit this time. Yeah, I know. I'm thinking snowflake. I was thinking snowflake too, Tammy, but I had to find a snowflake and this one doesn't have it. I still may kind of play and see what I have for snowflakes. I don't have as many snowflakes as I used to have. So then this guy would kind of come over here somewhere. And then I have the nice heart. Which is okay, but not my absolute favorite. So let me look and see snowflakes. What do I have for snowflakes? You know, that was the big joke a couple of years ago because I had so darn many snowflakes and I don't have a lot of them left. And they may not be in the right colors for what I have left. Oh, I also could bring in a Brad maybe. So I'm looking for snowflakes. I could go to my winter. Thought I had thrown my snowflakes in somewhere here. I'm not seeing the ones I'm thinking of. I have like light blue. Oh, here, I think I found them. Ah, there. Okay, there's a snowflake. And those are silver snowflakes, which I think is a little bit too sophisticated, or I have wood. So I do have some round pieces though here too. Like this I could use if I don't like that. This nice, I'm going to take this nice heart off and I'll add hearts somewhere, but I don't love this heart with that. Okay, so that's okay. That's a little too sophisticated. This is kind of big for what I was thinking of. I can't believe I don't have snowflakes that are appropriate. That's just so funny. So my other option is doing like one of these. Like I could do a navy one. If I had a big pink one, that might work, but there's only small ones. Okay, I'm gonna do one other thing before I decide that it's going to be that. What I am thinking is, let me grab my winter collections. I think I did this once before where I went into my winter stuff because, ooh, haha, I may have found the right snowflake right away. There's a blue snowflake on here. I was looking to see if, I thought I had something where I had gray ones. Because that would be kind of nice to bring the gray up. This one has some nice red, so I could bring a snowflake down in here maybe too. There's a red snowflake actually that could work really nicely in that as well too. So let's see what I can come up with here. This just feels too big for me. If this was kind of like if I didn't have that little snowman, and I can take the snowman off most definitely, and maybe that's what we'll do, but I'm thinking I kind of like the red, although is the red the right red? That may not be the right red, or does it matter? Okay, I actually like this better. And it isn't exactly the same red, but neither is this. So I have 3 different reds on here. So I think that looks intentional. Then let's get, I want to get a navy on here too, maybe. I like to a lot of times layer snowflakes like that, where I do more than one. And then we're bringing the blue up in again. Here, maybe some red, maybe tucked under here. And then I have more red. Or blue. Okay, I'm also thinking about maybe the snowflakes need to go up here. Okay, I'm liking this blue less on here than I did at first. So let's put this back. I cannot believe that I did not have snowflakes in either of the 2 collections I have for this year. That's just crazy. Yep, you just keep trying until it either works or doesn't, I guess. Okay, so I think what I'm going to do is just get this down to 1 for each. Kind of like in the red there. There's some white space, but it's not trapped anywhere. And I think it needs to be red. Now, the question is it going to be that big red? Or I have this tiny little baby one over here that I can do a smaller. Actually, I like the bigger red in there just a little bit. Barbara, I don't always do that either. Sometimes I just let it be as well, just so you know too. But sometimes I'm like, okay, that's good enough, and it is. But I have a little more time to play tonight. Okay, so is there anything that I think we're missing? Oh, I don't have a heart. And I was talking about putting a heart up here somewhere. So let's see what we have. I have a navy, even just a solid navy heart or a solid green heart. There's a lot of navy here, although there is some navy up here. And I like that right there. Do I want to do a small something there? There's green, but I already have, there's a lot of green here. I could do the pink. That feels like it's starting to crowd stuff too much. So I'm gonna pull that off carefully. Yeah, it just felt like too much. I do like the, I could try the pink here too. Let me just try that, but actually I kind of like the pink, and I'll tell you why. I'll flip them back and forth once. My instinct right now is I kind of like that pink because it the heart's there, but it disappears a little bit into the background. So I think it's not too much. Or do I like this blue better? Actually, I think I like the blue. I think it was disappearing a little bit too much, and I just like that extra touch of blue. I'm going to leave this as is. Originally, I was thinking I would put something over here, but I think that's simple enough just as it is. And then that, it gives you a little bit of a place for your eye to rest. Ooh, did we have fun tonight pulling all the stuff out? Okay, so there is the page for today. Let me pop these in the pocket so you can kind of see how things look once it's in the pocket. Little bit busier than last night, but I think still just fine. I do have to cut the top of the photograph off here again still, but I like it because there's elements that I'm echoing off each layout here, but nothing is the same. So, and I didn't get any gray up in here. I'm okay with that. I'm not gonna worry too much about that. If I had, been able to grab, and I guess I have a gray heart. Let's try that. I'm saying this. I was gonna say if I had a gray heart, and I have a gray heart. So let's try the gray heart and see what we think. Okay, so let's pull this back out again. Just to test this. So there's the blue heart. And there's the gray heart. And I still like the navy the best. I'm going to call there's the navy. I think it's doing what the pink did. It disappeared a little bit too much into the background there. So worth a try though. Back to the trying things, looking for the right thing. But so I used, to kind of tell you what I did to pull color and that kind of stuff to make things work together, even though they're different, is I used this paper, this stripe paper, and then found another paper with one of those colors in it. So those work together. And then instead of stacking these two photos in the same spot on these two cards, I just made them kind of go across from each other looking at the eye line. And it would have been okay if this one had been on this side and this one had been on the other. I could have put this one on top and this one on the bottom, but keeping in mind the eye line. The other thing is I did like the navy on the bottom a little bit better for photos because there's a little bit more weight to it because the blue is more solid looking. There's more white in this. So that's why, and I have a blue sofa. So that's why I did that. So these photos across from each other, which then put my embellishment clusters on opposite sides as well. So kind of coordinating things. And I was using color here more than anything is. And this is a little bit more minty than the green is. But since it's all not exactly the same, it works because I'm using different tints of the different colors. Here, like this green here has a little bit more blue in that than what's here, but it's close enough that it's okay. It's not really odd looking. And then brought this in, and I like the way this works because there's kind of a blank space here, so that sort of takes that up. Here it would have been more difficult to do that because it would have, you know, you would have had the photo and then your eye line would have stopped here at that embellishment. And for me, that's not the right thing to do. I want a flow. And then just adding in, you know, getting a little journaling spot in, getting a round piece here to kind of soften this more rectangle, and then just pulling color, you know, looking at the color. So there's blue here, there's blue down here. We've got the 2 red snowflakes here. There's red here, there's red up here, there's red there. And then adding that little, making sure that I had a heart in both of these. Even though they're 2 different hearts, they're still puffy, but more importantly, they're pulling in color from each of them, so they work. And then I did something with this layout that if you watch me 12 by 12 scrap, I do this all the time, where I do my embellishment clusters, especially if I only do 2, I do them in a diagonal, usually starting at the top left of my page and moving down to the bottom right, so that it draws your eye down the page. And your eye comes down. We read left to right in English-speaking countries. So, well, in other countries as well, but I happen to speak English and I read left to right. So I'm actually going doom, doom, but those embellishment clusters are drawing my eye there. And that's something that years and years ago in 2007, I took a Heidi Swap class and she talked about doing that. And I was already doing it naturally, but then I understood kind of why I did it, why that looked right to me. So if you also scrapbook, regular scrapbook pages and not only December daily, that's something you can use. I do this all the time in regular scrapbooking. So there's that. Hey, Melissa, nice to see you from Nevada. So I think that's kind of it. And now I have another 4x6, 2 4x6 pages or pockets, because I think I have one of those in here, but I think it's fairly far back up. There is one. So that's nice that I'm getting another in. This is about the time that as you go through, depending on where you are in the process, about halfway through, start looking at your layouts like this. I need to get another loose card like this in somewhere. Okay, that's what you're teaching a child when you read to them when they are little. It's a beginning step for reading. Ah, very cool. So I don't have any more of these, but I do have, and I popped it here, I have that holiday playlist. So somewhere in here, I'm probably going to do this again. Now I could make my own because I have that die to put it in here. Or I could put it on this like I did and then have something that backs it. Originally, I thought I might do this as, I could do it sometimes at the end. I'll do something on the back of my calendar at the end, but I can do that with lots of stuff. I could use any of this. Like I could end this, and maybe that's what I'll do here, is I could end this with December 2023, because this is the year that I'm using, and then, you know, Merry Christmas or one of those pieces. And that's kind of what I'm thinking for the back of this now that I have this playlist. So that is one thing I need to get in here. I'm going to pull this out, and I think yesterday I showed you that I started creating one of those vellum pages. So I know that these are 2 things that I need to get into the book yet to help things along, to help make sense so that things don't look left out. There is just one full-size page in here, well, it's really 2 because they're back to back, but I know that this will be a full-size page here as well. So that will work. Krista says, what about one of those skinny tabs in between your other 2 large tabs? I'm not sure. Are you talking about for this? Because there's no ring to put it on. I'm not quite sure that I'm understanding what you're saying there. So just if you want to like help me understand that a little bit more, that's that'd be great. I don't mind this moving around, by the way. I kind of like the way that does that. So just so that you know that. If you don't like that, don't do this then, right? but, or put it on, you could put it on a smaller piece of paper, like a 3x8 or something like that. That'd be kind of fun. So for sticking, for sticking out of the top, I already have another one. I'll show you that, Krista. You may not have seen that, but I have 3 now. So anyway, so what, so back to that, I've got this covered. I just wanted to look and see if I have any other 2, but I don't have, I think, have any more. Oh, and look at this. I have a blank, I have a blank 6x8 card protector in there. Yep. So I'm glad I did this because now I have this there, like that. So we've got the one and then the next one. Tomorrow, I think I have a fairly simple layout for tomorrow. We did do something tonight with my boyfriend's stepsons, but I didn't take any pictures. They're in their 20s. They would not have appreciated me doing that. I could go and take a photo of the restaurant we were at and pull that off the internet, that kind of a thing. But I think I'm going to leave that just because I got a beautiful evergreen swag from a client today that I like to document every year because it's something she gives me every year. And I'll use it now for like January for winter. So I think that's what I'm going to do. And then I think the next day, because there's nothing big going on tomorrow, I think I'm going to get my ornaments documented. And I'm thinking about what that's going to look like because I have 6 of these. So it means this means another 4x6. I don't know that I want to do another one of these pages. So I'm toying with that. I could do that page tomorrow and then like do kind of a filler page in there, but I'm not quite sure how that's going to work out. So this is going to be interesting to see how it works out because I've got so many of these 4x4 pockets. You know, there's another one, that kind of thing. Actually, what I could do is something like this. Or I just had a thought. What I could do is do like a strip of paper that sits outside and then do this holiday playlist on the back, and my photo for tomorrow could sit here. Or I could do this, and that's maybe what I'll do, where I've cut these. I kind of like the idea of that. And then I could do this holiday playlist. I could do the holiday playlist on one side, and then my photo for tomorrow on this other side is just a little something small in there because I do know, so then I have my ornaments to come. So like the little 2x2 thing, then I'm going to need ornament pages. And then the next day, we are doing Christmas with my grandkids. My other option is to use that 2x2, do my swag for tomorrow, my outdoor swag for tomorrow, or my, greenery swag for tomorrow, save this, and I could do just a 4x4 thing without the extras, without that extra flip. So like I could do just a page like this and not the one with the extra flip out stuff to it. So maybe that's what I'll do. And then one of these could go on the back side. Although then I don't have a place to talk about, now that I think about it, then I don't have a place to talk about the ornaments for this year. But I could do that. I could do that with labels and stuff like that. So that I'm thinking this is the process that as I'm planning pages, because I have to think about what's coming down the road in the book. I still kind of like the idea of doing the back-to-back small things and just using this. So let me show you guys, since I have time to do this, what I'm talking about. Just need to grab my Stack-O Stack-O page protectors. So what I'm talking about doing, I could find one. Okay, so this is one of those page protectors. Not sure if you can see this, but there's 4 3x4s. What I'm going to do, this is how I do this. I don't know that you've seen me do this, is I just take a scissors. You can use your trimmer. I actually find I'm more accurate with my scissors. And I'm just going to cut off these 2 outside pockets here. So I'm cutting outside this line where it's sealed, okay? And okay, so that's good. Now, you can save this for, I don't know, making shaker pockets or whatever you want to do. I'm going to throw it away because I find I don't use them otherwise. So now that's done and it's ready for tomorrow for my page. And I've used the page, even though I threw half of it out, I've used it. I bought it, that's what this is for. I'm going to now tuck this holiday playlist in behind. So this is going to be like a little bonus. There's no particular day associated with this, but I can talk about what I'm listening to on here. And if I have time tomorrow before I come on to work on the page tomorrow, I'll fill this out. I'm not going to do it tonight because I have some things that I need to do before I go to bed tonight. But I'll do that, fill that out, and then I can embellish. And then I have another pocket up here that I can either use a 3x4 card, or I can use some sort of just plain piece of paper and embellish. You know, like I could use one of my plain pieces of paper and put that there and it says Merry Christmas and we're all good there. Or, you know, there's lots of things that I could do. I still have a tree sitting here that I haven't used. So that could go in the pocket. You know, there's lots of different things I could do. So we'll figure that out tomorrow. And then I know that this can come behind, and maybe I'm going to end up now doing one of those flip outs so that I have the flip out. And then, so I've got this, I actually have one sitting here. So then this flip out could hold these photos, because there's room for 8 here actually. So there's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I have 6 photos. So now I have a place to embellish things, like use some of all those ornaments that I was looking at tonight, and a card, or I think there actually even is a card with ornaments on it in the Ellie Studio kit from this year. I know there is, unless I've used it already. But so now I know this is going on that page, and then that swag thing. So then the swag for tomorrow, I have an opportunity to use that. And I'm thinking, because it's an evergreen, it might be fun to use that really cool, I've got that kind of branch paper that came this year, like this. And then there's another solid darker one as well too. So I think this will be fun. So these are the kinds of things, really seriously, that I'm thinking about as I'm working on this. So you're seeing a little bit of my thought process here. Krista, I will get back to that comment you made earlier, by the way. I haven't forgotten about you. So now, here's kind of my page for tomorrow, is what I'm thinking. Okay. And what I'll do is, I'm not going to, once I'm done with this tonight, I'm not going to play around. I'm going to quick fill this out and then be done. But I can just let this sit here so that I know that that's what I'm thinking for tomorrow. And then we'll play with this and figure out what that's going to be like. I know those photos are going here. And so I've got that ready. So I've got my next 2 days of pages really planned. And then, because I know on Saturday I'm having Christmas with my grandkids, which will be the next page. And that, oh, and I pulled, this one is the 4x6 page. I'll get the 4x4s. So then I will have 4 squares here. Or the other thing I could do, actually guys, is if I wanted to, I could Is this, oh, these go in from the side. I mean, I could leave these together if I wanted to. Although I didn't, if I was going to do that, I probably would have printed these a little bit differently, but that's an option, is to do it like that. I could chop them down a little bit and do that, which it's kind of fun that it's a little bit different than the 4x4s that the 4x4s I'm talking about 4 up photos. And then here and here. But I think like if I was going to do this, I would have put the 2 books together and Belle and Mickey together. So I'll probably get the other one. But then, so now I know this is for this is tomorrow. And then whatever sits on the back, I'll have plenty of room if I have the 4 for the Christmas stuff with my grandkids. So that'll be kind of a fun. So that's where my head is going for what comes next. And I'm going to take this out of here though, so that I don't drop those photos all over the place, because I'll change that out before I'm done tonight. So then the other question Krista said is, what about tabs for sticking in between the other 2 large tabs? I did it. So what ended up happening is these were the 2 that were in existence, where right here that I had these sticking out. And when I looked at this, I wanted at least 1 more, because I only have 2 and I like odd numbers just from a design perspective. And I did, and I don't remember which of my subscribers gave me this idea, but she said, what about a tab at the top of your movie page? And so I looked at it, and this works, and I've now glued this in, so I can't, this one doesn't really pull out. If I pull it out, the whole thing's coming out. I thought about journaling on it, but I journaled about this over here, and I don't need any more journaling space. So I've got this one sticking out, and the thing I love about the way this looks from the top, which, you know, they sit on my shelves like this, sideways though. I mean, like the shelf is here, right? So I see this and I see the top, and now I'm seeing these 2 red twine here and this green twine here. So I do have that 3rd tab that you were just asking about. So I think I like the way that looks from a perspective. I feel like if I don't do another tag or twine sticking out, then I think I've got that figured out, and I think it looks great. So thanks, Krista. I don't remember what day I did that on, but I kind of tagged, no pun intended, tagged it on to kind of the end of something one day that I just mentioned it and said, and I had and it might have been when I actually did this day that I did it. So what day was that? That was Christmas. No, it was Christmas Eve. So when I did day 24, I think that's when I did it. But anyway, so I think that worked out really well, the way that, so I'd have to go back in the comments to find her. But so thanks for the subscriber who mentioned, what about the Hallmark movie page, because that worked out great. So look at that nice chunky book. And I don't mind the fact, some people, it bothers them when the pages start to go like this out. That doesn't bother me. These sit in my Calyx unit, so I'm gonna leave it. And I did toy with putting something on the front of this, and I'm definitely not going to. I could also do it on the inside. I just love the way this velvet looks. And I haven't done anything with this either, because I thought I might like hang it off the spine there. And the more I think about it, the less I like that. So I'm probably just going to use this and do December 2023 right here. And that's the only label that I have on the book. But it's pretty simple, because when you turn to the first card, it says 12/1/23, because I always date my journaling. Even though it's obvious it's 23 when it's in here, but that's what I do. I guess if that journaling card ever fell out, it would end up back on the right page, is kind of the way I look at that. So I think made lots of progress. And as if you don't complete your book until like beginning now, I think it's a little bit easier to plan your pages and what your page protectors are going to look like, because you already have the photos, right? to choose from pretty easily. When I'm doing this, I'm looking ahead at things that I don't even have photos for right now, like Saturday, and thinking about I'm going to need more space there. So that's, you know, it's a little bit harder when you're doing that real time than if you're a little bit delayed, which you guys can be delayed if you want to. I mean, I could be. Obviously, I had that issue one day where the internet wasn't working and I ended up not doing a video and ended up doing 2 videos later on. And it's interesting because I was just kind of looking, you know, we've looked through this a little bit and I saw this wood veneer snowflake here, and I have very little wood veneer in here this year. And that's probably something I should think about over the next couple of days. This might be a good place to do it just because it has that more rustic look. So what I do is if I have a thought about something, I just pop that in that little pocket there. So now this is going to remind me tomorrow that I'm thinking about doing some wood in there, whether that comes true or not, you know, whether I actually do it or not, but that might be a nice thing because I think it's been, I have a little bit of wood here. I have some wood here. So I have a little bit more than I remembered that I had, but it's definitely lacking compared to lots of that. Oh, Barbara said that I just reminded her to take pictures of her new ornaments this year. You are welcome. Yeah, I always think that's a nice thing to just kind of to show. And I had a really good time at Kohl's one day. I'm going to, actually, I think I got these, no, this one, I think I ended up finding at the Hallmark store, but I found a really good sale at Kohl's one day. And we all know Kelly has a Disney problem, right? These all go on the same tree. I have a tree I call the grandkids tree, and it's cartoon characters, books, and games, that kind of stuff. So there is a lot of Mickey Mouse on that tree now because we all know my Mickey Mouse love. And here's a little secret, you guys. I'm not telling you exactly what day that I'm going to leave on, but let's just say that I am very, very close to leaving for Paris. And it's making me a little nervous because I've forgotten a whole lot of my beginning French, and I haven't even looked at my wardrobe yet to make sure that I have enough socks, but I don't know if I have enough good underwear. I know that's TMI. And I don't really, you know, I need to layer, like you want to pack layers and that kind of stuff. I know the pants I'm going to bring, but I'm not quite sure all the stuff that's going on top for tops. And it's been, I've been watching, it's been nice. If you live in Wisconsin, you're going to think this is nice for January. It's been in the 40s, in the low to high 40s. So that's nice, but it's been rainy. So an umbrella. I have rain gear, but I'm also going to bring an umbrella too. So, but it's very close, you guys, really, really close. When I'm there, I'm not quite sure. I have to talk to my cell phone company within the next couple days just to get bumped over to an international plan. But if I can, I'm going to try to do at least one quick live stream of where we are. I'm not quite sure if that's going to work or not. So Barbara just asked me if Belle is because you're going to France. Yeah, no problem. No, the reason that I have a love for Belle is she's my favorite modern princess. I'm still a Cinderella girl. I mean, I was born in 1964, so I'm classic Disney, Snow White and Cinderella and that kind of stuff. I'm still a Cinderella girl at heart, but I don't have a Cinderella ornament because I found one this year, but she looks scary instead of princessy. I have the mice and I have the shoe on a cushion, but I don't have Cinderella. So I'm doing that. But Belle is my favorite modern princess. And that goes back to, I have a nephew who will very shortly be 33. And when he was little, like 2, he fell in love with Beauty and the Beast. It was one of his favorite movies. And so I have watched Beauty and the Beast. I watched Beauty and the Beast so much when he was little that I can still sing the words to the songs if you get me started. And so that's where my love for Belle comes from. When we were in Disney last year in November, we got to meet Belle. And she was in, if you know Belle, she's got her yellow princess dress, which is what this ornament is. But Belle also likes books. And we all know Kelly's love for books, right? Which I didn't totally connect with why he and I love that so much, about why we love Belle so much, but that is one of the reasons. So anyway, when I met Belle, she wasn't in this. She was, and actually we met another Belle who was in this. But when I did the meet and greet, she was in her blue dress with the white apron, which is what she's in when she's talking about books and singing at the beginning of the movie. And it was so funny. So that happened after we'd been in Disney for 3 or 4 days. So we were already pretty immersed. And I said to my daughter-in-law, is it okay if I just take a minute to have a picture taken with Belle, just myself? And she knew the story about this with my nephew. And so I had my picture taken with Belle, and she said to me, you must really like books. And I said, oh, you're right, Belle. I love to read just like you do. And I was having a conversation with Belle, and we were immersed enough in Disney that for a moment, I forgot that she wasn't a real person. I thought she was a real person, totally forgot that this was a person in character, if that makes any sense. And I came out afterwards and I started laughing when I saw my daughter-in-law, and she's like, what's so funny? And I told her the story, and she's like, oh, I totally get it. She said, I've looked at things and totally forgot that this isn't the real world. So when you're at Disney for a few days, the real world slips away, which in not so long, I will be in Disneyland Paris. And I'm pretty sure the real world is going to slip away. But that's, Barbara, thanks for asking. That's the story of Belle, about why I like her so much. And she's I have OG Cinderella princess, and then I have new modern Belle princess, who is my favorite. So Carrie Harden said Carrie said that's what I love about the Disney bubble. Me too. It's just magical. And I was talking to one of the friends that we were having dinner with tonight, and just telling him the story of going to Disney last year, because we were talking about some of the differences between what we were probably going to see at Disney Paris and Disneyland Paris, what Disneyland in California is like, and then what Florida is like. And one of the things I said to them is, my daughter-in-law said to me when we were there last year, it was as much fun watching you have fun as it was watching the kids have fun, because, I was a 58-year-old grandma of 4 and so immersed that I forgot that the characters weren't real. So anyway, you guys, I better get going, just because I do have a couple more things to do before I head to bed tonight. It was great hanging out with you tonight, and, giving you a peek into the craziness that is Kelly's world. You guys have a great rest of your night. I hope you're doing well with your December daily. Carrie said they say that Paris is the most incredibly decorated. I have heard that they've talked about how decorated Disneyland Paris is. So it'll be fun to see that, to see the differences in Main Street and that kind of stuff. And I can tell you, I know the castle is beautiful because I've seen a bazillion pictures of it. And you can go in the castle, truly go in and under the castle at Disneyland Paris. So, yep, that's why it's called Disney Magic. So anyway, you guys, everybody have a great rest of your night. As I was saying, I hope you're doing well wherever you are with your December daily, whether that's just that you've taken pictures, or you've written notes down, or you're finished with your book at this point. It doesn't really matter because there's no competition, right? And nobody said it has to be done. So keep that in mind as you're going to. There's bumps in the road, and that's okay, as long as it gets done eventually. You guys take care. It was fun hanging out, and I will see you at some point tomorrow. Bye, everybody.